Having a craftsman like Louis Sanchez working for us when we're making our sculptures is a great thing, because I can describe to him exactly what I want, and I can sit down and show him, and then when we have to make large quantities of things, he can do that because he is a skilled craftsman. The glass itself is being touched right now with a cherry wood paddle, and that's allowing Louis to make sure that the facets and the shapes of the glass are very organic. The biggest part of this project is making these pieces look organic, like they've crawled up the wall. You can see some of the finished product here. These pieces sitting on top of the organic tendrils or reeds really showcase the organicness of these pieces.
I saw his product at the Contemporary Dentist office, and I just had to search him out. So they gave me his card, and I called. Wonderful, pleasant. I went to the office, and he showed me a little layout that what he could do without even seeing my home or anything, you know. So I asked him to come to my home. I was excited. I didn't know what to expect, but and just they were laid out on a table, and the shapes of the you know, it was just like a rounded plate, you know, and the different colors. So when I got to the office, I thought, I said, wow, I just couldn't even imagine how they were going to be stabilized, you know, connected to the wall. But I was just so, you know, excited about the colors and the shapes and everything. I said, wow, he's going to make this work. Somehow or another, it's going to work. And there I was, you know, I said, well, this is anticipation.
You know, just moving around and finding where they're going to go on the walls and specifically placing them and marking them and installing them is not an easy task. I definitely don't enjoy that part of the project, no. Specifically marking the pieces and turning them, every one of the tendrils on each one of these sculptures is one of a kind and different. So placing them and spinning the pieces so that the pieces look like they've actually crawled up onto the wall was something that was a big concern of ours. Also, using specific silicone glue to put the pieces together is an important thing as well too, because while moving these pieces around, you want to have a little bit of flex in the pieces, so if you bump them, they don't break. They have flexibility with the rubberiness of the silicone. But putting those pieces in, they were very site specific when we put them together. We had to put certain pieces in after they were mounted to the wall, and then the same with the rondelles. Mounting the rondelles on the front of the metal structures was part of the design and part of the concept to allow you not to have any exposed fastening devices on the piece, because you don't want to see a fastening device on a piece that looks like it's crawled up the wall and it's living and organic. Beverly always would come back into the room and tell us her opinion on what we're doing, and we appreciate that. We want the client's opinion, you know, and Fred, you know, he was definitely part of the project when it came to his opinion and placing and stuff like that, you know, because I'm standing on an 18-foot ladder and mounting these pieces, and to have a second opinion of, you know, does that look right the way it is, or maybe it should be spun just a little bit, you know, is important. We work as a team. The optical effect of the rondelles that we used was blowing into an optical mold, and it gave us ridges in the glass that really made the glass reflective and capture the light a lot better. But equally as important, it strengthened the glass, so we could blow that glass a lot thinner, and it would be larger and not be as heavy. So that's the importance of putting those optics. There's a design element and there's a structural stability element to using an optic mold and blowing these large rondelles. Having pieces like this in a living room that had so much light at Beverly's place was really, really exciting. It definitely captured the glass essence. And lighting is the most important part of the glass. You can make the biggest and craziest looking piece of glass, but if it's not lit correctly, you're gonna have issues and it's not gonna look as beautiful. So lighting is very important, especially natural light. Placing these pieces throughout the whole room was something that I really pushed for. You know, in the beginning, Beverly wanted 5 to 7 pieces above her fireplace, and that was it. And I kept telling her, I said, hey, it would be really nice if we had some off in the corner, some up in the top, left part of the room, across the room, so that it looks like these pieces were growing and reproducing and living in the space. That's going to give it more of a organic feeling in the room, and that's something that I'm all about, is making glass that is alive. It has its own essence, and I think making pieces that almost make people feel uncomfortable with glass is very important to me as an artist.
When it came to the colors and everything and sculpture, that first time that I saw the pieces was at the store, and he knew the layout. I had a purple couch. He never saw the couch. It wasn't even in the room. But I told him the color of that purple, dark purple. And I told him that I wanted different complementary colors to go with it. So when I went to the office, he had these beautiful oranges and aquas and, and I was, and yellows, I was just thrown away. I thought it was really nice. The sculpture in the living room, I believe that's where I started too, about the sculpture in the living room. I have a flooring in my foyer, and it's like a Nautica, and my color scheme was like the glass, and my furniture is red in there, and the flooring is black. And that's exactly the colors that he used.
It's interesting because this piece in here is definitely completely opposite of the organic pieces in her back living room. It definitely was in opposites, and it's kind of interesting, the yin, the yang. You walk into the first section of the house and you see this ultra-modern piece, and then you walk into the back where you're going to be hanging out and socializing, and it's more organic, more laid back, definitely, a different vibe. I love that kind of stuff. I love it.